Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great night. I clicked on a funny button and I'm not sure if it's working, but it should be fine. How is everybody doing? So, I had a topic in my head that I really wanted to go over, and so I really wasn't going to do a live. I'll just be very, very honest because I'm really tired, but there's no excuse because I really wanted to cover it. So, the topic is this. Let's destroy the idea that people think that keto is hard. And the reason I say that is because there are so many people that message me on a daily basis and go, this is too hard, or I've done it in the past, or if I drink your product, do I have to eat keto, or I can't get my spouse to eat keto. Like, it's always, people look at this concept of eating the ketogenic diet and they get overwhelmed. I feel like the majority of people that message me, they're overwhelmed, they feel that they're not equipped, they want to do something, they just don't know where to start. So maybe I should back up a little bit and I'll explain it this way. Because I really feel like if you understand kind of where our story was, and also the different layers of even what keto could look like, it doesn't have to be black and white, right? So oftentimes people type in keto and they just go right down a crazy rabbit hole of every single buddy on social media that's talking about keto, ketosis, ketones, right? And you're going to get a lot of different viewpoints of how to do it, when to do it, what to eat, how to eat. Is that fair to say? And so you could go very, very extreme over this way to where you have to track all of your macros in a piece of broccoli. And you can go very, very swing the opposite way, right? And do low carb and still feel great. So with all of that said, I want to share my story. But where are you tuning in from? How is your evening? I actually am not as tired as I was 3 minutes ago because I decided to press play. And I'm going to talk to you for just a minute, and then I'm going to go to bed. And then I'm going to wake up and grab an airplane at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. And then our family is headed to Australia. Crazy, right? We're going to Australia to help champion the ketone conversation. We're going to go help with an event over there. It's going to be awesome. And so I take each day at a time. And actually that's a part of our story as far as keto goes. So I think over the last couple of days, like I said before, the question has come in, how do you not get overwhelmed? How do I get my kids to eat keto? How do I get my husband or my wife on board? I don't know what I'm doing. So you have to understand, 5 years ago, we've got 4 girls. And so 5 years ago, our girls were babies. They're still babies to me. They're 11, 9, 7, and 5. 5 years ago, there was a baby, 2, 4, and 6. And I remember my husband, he came home from work, he walked in, right? I'm sure I made this most delicious meal, lasagna, my most favorite meal, garlic bread. I used to make it probably every other day. He would come home from work. He didn't love what he did. Well, he loved one of the jobs, didn't love the second job. And I just remember him coming home, and I remember him saying one day, I'm gonna eat keto. And I was like, I don't know what that means. He started putting butter on all of his food, like crazy amount of fats. And I would say, I don't get it. We're supposed to eat margarine, and don't ever ask me to not eat lasagna or frozen pizza or bread because I ate it every day. And so if you could only be in my husband's shoes for those 2 years, I always tell people I helped him fail miserably. He would try to eat keto. So for a lot of you, you're probably trying to do this maybe on your own, right? Your spouse might not be on board, or a family member, or maybe you're making 2 meals because your kids won't eat what you're doing. So oftentimes people look at that as like a wall, right? Oh, I can't do it. Or they blame, shame, justify, I failed because my spouse didn't help me. So there's a lot of variables. You've got to figure out why you're doing it. You've got to have a strong enough belief, right? We do accountability here, so we're here to help you. But fast forward 2 years, I saw what my husband was doing. So here's a key point. You have to understand that what you're doing it for your health right now. You're doing it for you to feel better. Like, what is your why? Do you want more energy? Do you want fat loss? Do you want focus? Like, what do you want to be eating this way for? A lot of you probably don't even understand that ketones are powerful for the brain. So what's fun is I talk to a lot of you, and you might go, I want fat loss. And I go, that's awesome, right? Let's go strict keto. Let's take the product. How do you prefer to do it? We walk you through how to help you do a lifestyle approach. But it's so fun to hear all of your stories. If you stick with it, if you keep going on the benefits that you wanted and all of the benefits that you've gained over time. Now, with our story, Fast forward, I looked at my husband one day. I had made lasagna. I was standing in the kitchen and just looking at my wonderful food that I love so much. And I remember looking across into the dining room, and all of my kids were huddled around my husband, and he was eating a bowl of hamburger with broccoli and butter and garlic. And I remember them going, "We want Dad's food." And I had this light bulb moment of like, man, my husband's trying to do something. I'm helping him fail miserably. My kids prefer his food. There's probably something to this. Now, understand that you might be on the journey by yourself. If you feel like you're by yourself, maybe in your environment or at your home, you're not by yourself if you plug into a community like here. But just know this, that people will watch you. Sometimes they're watching you just to see how long you'll last. Sometimes they'll watch you for a year or 2 years before they decide that you've actually stuck with it, and they'll join you. I did that to my husband. I'm pointing over here because he's sitting on his computer working, right? So anyways, I had this realization that I probably should figure out what he's doing, because I saw the benefits he was having once he drew a line in the sand, once he decided not to eat the food not that he wasn't being disrespectful. He just said, "Hey, don't worry about me. I'll make my own food." And I started seeing he was having success with fat loss. He was coming home from work, not dragging his feet, plopping down on the couch and falling asleep because he needed a nap. He had more energy to play with the kids. He was more focused. I saw all of that over time, and I thought, I think this is working. I really don't want to give up my food that I'm eating, but I'll watch you and try to figure this out. So here's the kicker. I tried to be a really supportive wife. I remember one day I put on my shoes. I'm pretty sure it was freezing cold in Minnesota, because I feel like it's always cold in Minnesota, but it really wasn't. I don't even know. I think it was probably spring. But I remember getting in the van. Our van always looks like a toy store, clothing store, closet. Anybody else? We've got 4 girls. So if you get in our van, my husband always jokes and he's like, "This isn't supposed to be a closet." So I got in the van, drove to the grocery store, got into the store, really ready to eat keto and cook keto. And I walked out of the store within a matter of 10 minutes in tears because I didn't know what to buy. Has anybody ever been there? Sometimes people can get overwhelmed with this, right? You want better. You realize that there is a different opportunity or a better way to eat, but we've been so ingrained that fat is bad, or we should be eating a certain amount of carbs, or why would you not eat that, right? And so my encouragement to you is this: there should never be an overwhelming feeling like that, because I've already done that. And I remember going into the grocery store, coming home crying, telling my husband I didn't know what to make, but I wanted to help our family make the switch. And then we had this idea. There's no reason to be overwhelmed. It shouldn't be a go clean out your cupboards and start all fresh, brand new and try to conquer this thing in a week. Has anybody ever done that? Right? No. But if you take the simple approach of one step at a time, one meal at a time. So I said, okay, all we're going to do is focus on breakfast. So I put my shoes back on, walked back out to my van, drove back to the grocery store, and I walked in with a new confidence going, I'm not going to buy the cereal down the cereal aisle. I'm going to get eggs, bacon, sausage. I'll try keto pancakes. That's it. And once we got all the cereal boxes out of the house, we didn't buy them anymore. And my kids knew for breakfast, those were their options. And I always tell people, keep it simple. And then when you have an extra little bit of time, go on to Pinterest, type in keto breakfast and try a new recipe. But for the majority of our breakfast, eggs, bacon, sausage. That's it. We really tried to incorporate our children into this. We talked about food being fuel. We never said mommy's fat, daddy's fat, we're on a diet. We just said, hey, we're gonna start feeding our family better. Why don't you girls join us? And they would help me make the eggs, help crack the eggs, get the eggshells in the eggs, just a part of the process. But if you put your children in the kitchen with you and have them watch you, they're gonna be more apt to try the food you're making. Number 2, after that, after breakfast was under control and we got all that junk out, I just stopped buying the bread to make sandwiches. I stopped buying the chicken nuggets and the frozen pizza, which was really hard for me because I used to eat a frozen pizza almost every other day for lunch. And I'm not exaggerating. I just stopped buying those things and I said, okay, girls, we're gonna have, my kids were better at this than I am. They embraced my husband's salads. They embraced all of the vegetables with butter and garlic because butter and garlic makes everything taste better. And we just started making simple things. I would make a meat and a vegetable. The girls always had to try it. I was the last one to try it, because if you would have known me 3.5 years ago, I had never touched anything green. I had never eaten a piece of lettuce. I didn't eat salad. If it wasn't processed, I probably didn't eat it. I know a lot of people go, really? No, this was my husband's idea. I joined him 2 years later, and I didn't start till I had a packet to try because I didn't want to give up my frozen pizza. I drank a product. It changed my life. I incorporated this lifestyle over a year, and we've been able to keep it going for 3.5 years. But it was a process. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't walk into the grocery store and just go into tears. Go with the certainty that you're going to do one meal or one thing at a time. So once we had our lunches under control, we still have deli meat. Yes, sometimes it has nitrates in it. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's organic. Sometimes it's not. We say don't mess up good for perfect. We have vegetables and dips and salads, and we've gotten super creative and thrown in hamburger and cheese and cauliflower and try to make a casserole. We call it hot dish. Go type in Pinterest, easy keto lunches, and you'll have a lot of options. As soon as that was done, we moved on to dinner. I just got rid of the pasta, the bread, the potatoes. So I remember that overwhelming feeling, but my husband was very supportive and just going, let's try one thing at a time. And so I really just wanted to come on here and encourage you that you can do the same thing. It doesn't have to be overnight. It took us 6 to 8 months to get us to where we wanted to be. One thing, one thing, one thing, one thing. Now, if you look at our house now, we do not keep really, our house runs very smoothly. Our kids know what to expect to eat. They never complain. If they're hungry, they'll go grab a hard-boiled egg or carrots, or yes, our kids are not strict keto, they're low carb, or pickles or beef sticks or cheese sticks. Like, our kids are great. People sometimes go, oh, your children, I feel so bad for them. How come you don't ever give them a donut? And this is what I like to say too, is don't mess up good for perfect. Do the best that you can in your home. But often, another question I get asked is, how do I get my kids to stay on track at school? You might not. Maybe you pack their lunch. Maybe you don't. Your kids have to watch you. They've got to learn how they feel. If they get a stomachache after they eat something, you go, oh, what did you eat? They have to understand how their body feels and have to be able to process that in order to make better decisions. It's about helping them through this entire journey so that when they're adults, they can make the best decisions. When my children go over to somebody else's house, they choose if they're going to have a cupcake or 2 or 3. If they do decide to have one, if they have an extra one, they come to me and go, my stomach hurts. And I go, oh, what did you eat? I shouldn't have had that second cupcake. I didn't condemn them. I didn't tell them, why did you do that? I said, yep, maybe next time we should probably choose just a little bit wiser. Maybe it's okay next time to only have one. Same thing as an adult. Now, I was just talking to my husband about this because I said there are some people who, your children might make those decisions and go to a birthday party and they'll come back and you don't have it in your home. I tell some people, if you as an adult can't have one donut at the office and then not sit in your office desk for the next 8 hours, not thinking about it, then you're going to have to be a little bit more strict. So if you can't have one thing here and there without going down a rabbit hole of binging, then don't do it. It's not worth it. There was something else I was going to say, but now I feel like I just got off track. So I hope this is helpful. Honestly, I wanted to come on here real quick because I just wanted to simply share
how would they do it?
That we've been there before. I've had the tears. I've stepped back. We've taken it slow. We've been able to keep this long term. I've never felt better, ever, ever, ever as a mom. For me, it wasn't fat loss. It was the energy. It was the focus. It was the mental clarity that I didn't even know I didn't have until ketones were introduced into my body, and I feel amazing. What was your question?
So
how would you get what I have? Well,
what do you have?
So I started with a product. If you go through on this KetoMOM page a couple days ago, I did a fun little tracker with a blood meter. I would just say scroll down to the last 3 posts below and go look at the blood meter video. So that's what I have. You know what? I'm going to cover this and I'm going to address this very simply as well because I got this question 5 times after I posted this video. Why in the world would you need to drink pure therapeutic ketones if you're eating strict keto? So I think I got that right away. 5 ladies were like, I don't get it. Aren't you strict keto? So in the very beginning of us eating this way, my husband tracked everything he put into his mouth. He weighed every single thing that he ate. He tracked his blood to make sure he was in ketosis. I kind of dabbled with it. I tracked my food on MyFitnessPal. Sometimes I forgot. I think as a mom, especially if anybody's young mom on here, like having young kids, I would just forget. I could tell that I was in ketosis because I was drinking ketones. I could tell if I ate something bad because my stomach hurt, right? So like if you take certain things out and you add it back in, I have to go, is this pizza going to be worth it? I don't think so. But what I wanted to simply say is, the question that came up. So with the blood meter, I tracked my blood the other day and it said low. I wasn't in ketosis. I probably eat too much protein. I mean, I don't track all of my food. I feel phenomenal. I don't feel like I have to be strict keto all the time. And so if there's anything that was going to knock me out of ketosis, it would be my protein. It doesn't bother me because whether you're eating low carb or strict keto, my question to you is this. I mean, are you in ketosis 24/7? Because the average person isn't. Or they're in and out and in and out. So the reason that you'd want to drink ketones is because you're in ketosis every day. You've got the energy, the focus, the appetite control, all of those things to help you get you through your day, and then you do your best you can with your food. If you're already in ketosis, which the question was asked to me after they watched that blood meter video, it amplifies what you're doing. So more energy, better appetite control. If you're in the gym a lot, it helps with more muscle preservation. There's lots of benefits to ketones and even having a more heightened level of ketones. Some people are just barely in ketosis, maybe a 0.5 or a 0.8. It took my blood ketone level up to a 2.2. Another question people said is, what happens if I test my blood ketones and it doesn't show up? With the product, I've gotten to talk to a couple of the experts in the ketone space. The more you eat keto, the more you take the product, the better your body absorbs all of the ketones. It goes to your brain, it goes to your muscles, your body utilizes it. So my question to you is this: how are you feeling? So if you're eating keto or you're drinking the product, there's a lot more benefits of figuring out how you're feeling besides like the scale, right? Or inches lost, or your clothes fitting differently. Put all of that aside. And if you're just eating better, pay attention to your mood. How do you respond at work when somebody might have a bad attitude? How do you respond to your children when they're acting out? How is your gym time? Could you walk further? How is your attitude? How is your focus? How is your sleep? There are so many benefits to having ketones in your system than just fat loss, and you need to give it time. So my question to you is this: are you always in ketosis? I'm going to guess the majority of you are not. And when I asked that question, some of you said, I guess I don't really know. So if you don't know, the product is there to put you in ketosis. If you don't want to drink it, that's fine. You just have to be a little bit more strict if your goal is ketosis. If your goal is low carb, enjoy it, love it, embrace it. Keep all the stuff out of your house that you might binge on in the beginning at night. And that doesn't help me. My husband always tries to give me these little like, hey, what about this? What about this? Do you want to talk on my life? You don't want to say anything? Oh. We're booking a flight to Australia. We actually have our flight to there. We need another flight to get to where we're going. Last minute, right? We leave tomorrow.
How will somebody get this?
Okay, so I will not take up any more of your time. If you want...
Hey, they're loving it. You're getting hearts. Honey, you're a great storyteller. I'll give you a hint. If people don't want to watch it, they can shut it off.
If you don't want to watch me, you can shut it off.
I love listening to you.
Well, I appreciate you all.
Story too.
I think this is amazing. Our family's life has been changed physically, financially. We've got time freedom.
What does that even mean?
We get to do this.
How could a mom get that?
So anyways, my husband loved the diet for a long time. I didn't love the diet. I loved the product that could put me in ketosis. Go watch the video that I did a couple days ago, or I can get you a 5 or 10 day. There's not 1,000. I haven't done a video since then.
I don't know which I was just looking for. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, you could. So if you scroll down, my husband said he couldn't find the video. He can. He just didn't look very hard. Scroll down to the fourth, the most recent video besides now. Or if you want to know more about my mom, feel post a 5 or 10 below and I'll send you some information.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. That's what he wanted me to say. Because I do get a lot of questions about it. So anyways, we're sitting in Boise, Idaho. If you've never been to Boise, you want to know something? This city is beautiful. It is super clean. I'm very impressed. We'll for surely come back here. We'll bring our girls. The mountain's beautiful. The city is beautiful. It's clean. There's a lot happening. There's some super fun restaurants, right? And we only could be here for 24 hours. We got to leave in the morning, but we're going to come back, right?
100%.
You should come visit. Why? Just because. So if you have questions, let me know. If you've got things that have helped you get through your process of eating low carb or keto or switching your kitchen over, a journey, how you've made it a journey, feel free to share below because I know other people would love to hear value from you if you've already done it. Collaboration is currency. We work as a team. This should not be just my voice. This is all of your voices because there's so many people on here that have a story, and so many of you could inspire other people if you just shared your story. Don't be afraid. Get that mindset out. Doesn't matter what other people think. If it's working for you, it can help other people. Share your story. If you want my mom fuel, post a 5 or 10 below. And I think that's it. Don't get overwhelmed. You don't have to go to the grocery store in tears. I'm here to help you. I've got a whole food list. Maybe I'll just post it tomorrow so you can see how we used to start. And I think that's it. Anything else? I am ready for bed. We sat in a conference all day. I learned a ton. Just how to tell stories. We learned a lot of just about how to be relatable to people, and I love it. I love learning it. But when you sit and you listen, you take in all of this knowledge, your brain starts to hurt. Right?
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
I'm very proud of you.
My brain is... Okay. I appreciate you all. Have a great night. I would love to know where you're tuning in from. If anybody's in Boise, Idaho, we're going to come back and visit you. And if you're not, I'm going to find some friends here that want me to come back and visit them because we love it. Right? We do love it. Steve, my husband's like, maybe we should move here. It's a great place for kids. We don't even know. We've been here for 24 hours, but it's pretty. So appreciate you all. If you are not following me on Instagram, my Instagram name is KetoMOM Online. One long name. I know, kind of weird. KetoMOM Online. We'll be tracking our entire Australia trip coming up. We leave tomorrow. I just track everything on there because I can do stories and it's really easy. So if you want to follow us, feel free. We'll be sharing our food, our adventures, what we're doing, probably the event that we're doing there.
They should, if there's anything that they ever want you to cover, just have a message.
If there's anything you ever want me to cover on a Facebook Live, if you've got topics or ideas, you can either post below or just private message me because I would always love ideas of things to share with. So appreciate you all. Have a great night.
Or stories.
Oh my goodness. I keep trying to land the plane. I'm landing the plane. I'm landing the plane. I'm here to help. Reach out. I appreciate you all. Have a great night.